Hey guys, I wanted to do a video here on why it's crucial in a gas engine to change your spark plugs and just keep up with the routine maintenance. Excuse me, I don't know how to talk. This is an older truck. It's a 78 Ford F250 with a 351 modified that's been, it's had some upgrades done to it. This engine's pretty new. It's got about 25,000 miles on it now since the rebuild, but really it doesn't get driven that much, maybe a few times every summer. It's a restoration truck. I try to keep the miles down on it, but you could see that the paint is just starting to, come off, and it's just been sitting for a while. It sat all last winter. I only ran it a few times, made sure keeping the fluids run through it, and so the last tune-up I did was about 2 years ago, and yeah, I just want to show you what the spark plugs actually look like on an engine that's been ran for about 2 years. Like I said, I put around 25 to 30,000 miles on it. Now this engine does have, a pretty big carb on it, different intake. The head's been redone and all that stuff, so it's, it does run a little rich and lean at some times, and the idle is a little sporadic. It's an older truck. Different cam, likes to lope a little bit, and yeah. So this is a new spark plug. This is an Autolite 8P25. You can get this at probably every auto parts store, and you can see that spark plug's nice and clean. The gap is perfect. Everything's good, ready to go right in. Just need to put a little bit of silicone on the end of the wire before you put it on there, and be good to go. Now this is the Motorcraft equivalent to that spark plug there. I put these in, like I said, 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and you could see the carbonation and a little bit of the oil on there. Just normal wear and tear. Maybe you can see how the point of contact there is just a little dirty, and this spark plug probably could get cleaned up a little bit, but the spark plugs for this truck are only $3 a piece for the premium. So yeah, so it's time for spark plugs. There's 8 spark plugs. This is a V8. I'm just doing all the spark plugs. They're all the same. They all are covered with the same amount of destruction on them. But yeah. And the reason why I went with just a little bit of an upgraded, this is a platinum Autolite spark plug. The reason why I'm going with the platinum is I don't want to go overboard with the spark plugs. I know there's like the iridium spark plugs that have got like the 4-point ignition on them and stuff like that. But I'm running the stock ignition system on this truck, stock distributor, stock coil, and I didn't really want to, I didn't want to have an issue with like a no start, not enough, you don't know if the coils can put out enough power to actually fire the spark plugs. So I wanted to go with something a little bit more OE, but a little bit of an upgrade to them. So I went with these guys, and they got a really good warranty on them too. So I went with the Napa brand spark plug wire. I've never had an issue with these silicone wires. They're $33, lifetime warranty. Anything happens to it, bring it back. They'll give you a whole new set. So yeah, I went with those guys. I don't need to touch the cap and the rotor or anything in there. It's all clean. I already popped the cap off before I started doing the swap on it. But yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't. For an older vehicle like this, unless you're running like a MSD ignition system or a really upgraded ignition system, I'd just try to stick with the OE type spark plugs and just swap them out every couple years, or it depends on how many, how long you run the vehicle or how it does run. Like this one, it's got a little bit of a cam in it, so the idle's a little sporadic. The fuel's a little sporadic. But yeah, if you're running like a modern vehicle, like my Excursion with the V10 in it, you could run your spark plugs for 50,000 miles and not have issues with it, unless the typical Ford issue where it shoots them out of the head. But you don't need to talk about that. But yeah, here's the other side. You can see just normal wear and tear. A little bit of water, a little bit of rust. Not on the inside of the engine, but just on the outside, because northern Michigan. But I got a few other things here. I got this gold premium oil filter. Spend over $100 in Napa, you get a hat. some rags. What else did I get? Oh, that gear wrench set is amazing. That's going to give me to another point here. Some nice rags here. I got an air cleaner, but it's for the OEM air intake. But you know, I got my Edelbrock one there, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, like I said, I guess if you're going with an older truck and you're doing plugs and wires on it, we'll keep it. Try to keep it OE. But another thing is, you guys don't know about this. If you don't have these spark plug holders, there's a nifty trick that you could do with a zip tie that you might not know about. It's really cool. Let me grab a couple zip ties and I'll show you. Let's go over to the parts file here. Yes, I know my toolbox is absolutely horrendous. There's my zip ties. So, zip tie plug wire holder tips. Let me open up this bag really quick. Alright, so what you're going to want to do, you got your 4 wires here. There's 4 wires per side since it's a V8. You want to put them together like this. You're going to take your zip tie and you're going to want to run it around. And hold on a second here, I'll set the phone down. You run it around the wires. You don't want to snug it up all the way, but you want to have enough room to where you can put more zip ties in between. So just like this, you keep it a little loose. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put a zip tie here, here, and here to separate the wires, and then you're going to tighten up the outer, or the one that's wrapped around them all, tighten that one up, and you have a nice little holder, and it looks awesome. So here, I'll do it for you really quick, and I'll show you what the end of it looks like. Alrighty, so this is the almost 90% finished product here. As you can see, you got your zip tie that goes around all of them, then you put a zip tie in between each wire. I kind of had it a little bit too tight, but I think it'll be alright for now. But as you can see, it holds your wires nice and tight. It looks pretty good for the most part. And yeah, what I'm going to do here is you could slide this one down, and then I'll pull your wires in so it's not, you know, so clustered. Now see, it pulled my wires in a little bit, so now I can put another holder in here if need be. I'm going to put them in, I'm going to put the wires about right here. See if I can get them down closer to the intake there. But yeah, it looks pretty good, you know, for an older truck. You got the distributor in front on a Ford, so it kind of got all your wires to mess with up front and make it look nice and pretty. But yeah, I just thought I'd show you guys that little trick there, and maybe it'll help you guys out on the next tune-up you guys do. Yeah, see you guys in the next video.